In the heart of a bustling city sat an old beggar. Every morning, before sunrise, he would take his place near a busy marketplace. His clothes were torn, his beard was long and unkempt. People passed by daily. Some gave him coins, most ignored him. For over 20 years, he had been begging at the exact same spot. The shopkeepers knew him, the street vendors knew him. Even the stray dogs recognized him. Nobody knew his real name. Everyone simply called him the old beggar. But what nobody knew was that this man was hiding a secret so unbelievable that it would shock the entire city. One day, a young journalist named Arjun noticed something unusual. Every evening after collecting alms, the beggar disappeared into a quiet neighborhood. Curious, Arjun decided to follow him. The old man walked slowly through narrow streets. Then suddenly, he stopped in front of a huge mansion, a mansion so grand that it looked like a palace. Arjun was stunned. The beggar looked around carefully. Then he pulled out a key and entered. The massive gates closed behind him. Arjun stood frozen. How can a beggar live in a mansion, he wondered. The mystery had only begun. The next day, Arjun returned. This time, he managed to speak to a gardener who worked there. What he learned left him speechless. The old beggar was actually named Rajendra Malhotra. Years ago, Rajendra had been one of the richest businessmen in the city. He owned factories, commercial buildings, hotels, investments worth millions. His wealth was enough for several generations. Yet every morning, he dressed like a beggar and sat on the streets asking strangers for coins. Why? Nobody could explain. Many years earlier, Rajendra had started life in extreme poverty. As a child, he often slept hungry. Some nights, he survived only because kind strangers gave him food. At the age of 12, he began begging on the streets. It became his daily routine, his survival mechanism, his way of life. Years later, through hard work, determination, and business talent, he transformed his destiny. He built an empire. He became wealthy, respected, powerful, but there was one thing he never left behind: his habit of begging. Every morning he would tell himself, "Just for today." Yet the next day he returned again, and again, and again. What began as necessity had become addiction. Eventually, Arjun requested an interview. To everyone's surprise, Rajendra agreed. The journalist asked him directly, "Sir, you own millions. Why do you still beg?" Rajendra remained silent for a moment. Then he smiled sadly and said, "When I was poor, begging fed me. It saved my life. Every coin felt like hope. Over time, my hands learned to ask. My mind learned to depend. My heart learned to expect." He looked out the window, then continued, "I became rich, but my habits remained poor." Rajendra then said something unforgettable. People think wealth changes everything. It doesn't. You can change your clothes. You can change your house. You can change your bank balance. But changing your habits is the hardest thing in the world. He explained that success had transformed his financial life, but inside, a part of him still believed he was the frightened boy begging for food. His body had escaped poverty. His mind had not. And that hidden poverty kept pulling him back to the streets. After the interview became public, thousands of people discussed Rajendra's story. Many laughed. Some criticized him, but others understood the deeper message. Rajendra himself finally realized something. He wasn't begging for money. He was begging because of habit. The next morning, for the first time in decades, he did not go to the marketplace. Instead, he visited an orphanage, then a shelter, then a school for underprivileged children. The same hands that once stretched out for coins, now stretched out to help others. Years later, when people asked Rajendra about his greatest achievement, he never mentioned his wealth. He never mentioned his factories. He never mentioned his mansion. Instead, he said, "The day I stopped begging was the day I became truly rich." The story teaches us a powerful truth. Many of us carry invisible habits. Some habits keep us small. Some keep us afraid. Some keep us living in a past that no longer exists. The world may change around us, but unless we change within ourselves, we remain prisoners of yesterday. Remember, your future is not limited by your past. Your wealth is not determined by your bank account, and your destiny is not determined by your habits unless you allow it to be. The old beggar was a millionaire, yet he remained poor in his mind. Only when he changed his thinking did he finally become free. The end.